In this tutorial, I want to show how to create a desktop Flutter app for macOS X, where you can drag and drop files and upload them directly to Firebase Storage. So let me demonstrate how it works. We can upload single file, and if you reload our Fire storage, you can see this image. Or we can drag and drop multiple files all at once. And as you can see, it doesn't really matter what type of file is this. This can be like text file, code file, image, video, etc. And if you click on this file, we will just open our browser. And if browser cannot really render this file, it will just download it into our folder. Also important thing is that if we reload our app, we will load the list of files as well. And here they are in our storage. Okay, I created a new project. I called it drag and drop Firestore upload. As you can see, I cleaned everything except macOS. Here is our empty and new pub spec and our main file. We just have a text drag and drop plus Firestore upload at the center. Let's add important libraries we will use. I will use super drag and drop and super clipboard libraries for our drag and drop functionality. Let's add them. And first thing I want to do is just highlight our window when we dragging something into it. It's actually very easy to do it. Let's wrap our scaffold with drop. Let's actually see how it's called. So we have example of our super drag and drop here. And let's find the from drop its drop region. And let's use this. We actually don't have any custom formats, so let's just say standard formats. It has behavior opaque is fine. On drop over, on the from drop. Let's just for now say that we want to set okay, and we need drop operation over here, so let's say it's copy. And what we need to do is we have our drag. Logic is simple, like if we enter drop event, we set drag to true, on drop leaf, we set it to false. Let's just change background color for our scaffold. And I'll use Cupertino colors active blue with some opacity. And otherwise, let's use default one. And obviously it's not constant anymore. Okay, let's try it out. And as you can see, when drag enters, we highlight our window. Doesn't really important if it's one file or multiple files. And that's it. Next step, I want to receive the location of the file we actually drop here, so we can use it and upload it to Firestore. Let's see, we have this onPerform drop method, and I'll just use code from the example where we receive our reader info. Let's see, so build widgets readers, and event session item. Let's try to find this build widgets for readers. Here is it. And we have build widget for reader. And here is what happens for different formats And we are interested only in URI and file URI. So what we can do is we can iterate over our items. We can check if data reader is not null, and then we can try to get value for file URI and URI. And this should give us location of the file we are trying to drag and drop. Okay, let's do this. So it's our session. And then we can grab this piece of code. And as you can see, read value is not defined. So actually, as you can see, read value is just an extension or data reader in our example. So, and all it does is just turn get value into a future. So let's just copy this right here. And now we have our read value. All I want at the end is just file. Now, what should we do with this file? Let's just create a list of, or actually, let's just display this file location for now. Oh, sorry, we cannot display just file location because we are doing this in a loop. So let's create a list of files. And then we can just call that state. Now let's display our list. For this we will use list view builder. So we will just display the path of our file and item count is items max. Okay, let's check it. So let's drag image, and here is our file location. And let's drag these files. And as you can see, it's document, video archive, and main. And we can even drag this one into MP4. Okay, this part works. What should we do next? I'd say now we can upload this to Firestore. So let's do let's create new Firestore. So for this, we can go to add Firebase to a Flutter app. I already did this. Install Flutter Fire. And let's add our dependencies first. So we need Firebase core. And we also need Firebase Storage. Now we can call Flutterfy config. So I'll create a new project and let's call it drag and drop Firestore upload to. And it failed. Let's see why. Delete argument. Not sure, let's try this different name. Okay, let's say YouTube demo. Oh, okay, here we see description. Project ID must be at most 30 characters long. So it's just too long. So okay, and now it's done. As you can see, it's automatically detected that we have only macOS 6. It's enough for us. And it's done. Now we can initialize our app. And I believe we need to call widget binding ensure. Okay. I believe it will fail and it will tell us that we need to call something like ensure initialized. I just don't really remember a specific name, so let's try to call it. Okay, and we got an issue. So it says that, okay, we need to update the minimum version for our macOS 6. Let's do this now. Let's try again. Okay, and here is it. So it's widgets Flutter binding and initialized. Yep, now it works. Now let's go to our console and actually enable our storage. Let's start in test mode, and US Central is fine for me. Okay, now let's find out how to upload file quickly. So, and here's how we can do it. Okay, this is enabled. So once we have our file, let's try to upload it. Just as a proof of concept for now. Later we can refactor this code and move it somewhere in provider for some better architecture. And what name we can give to this child? I think we can use UUID, so let's add another dependency. Why UUID? Just to make sure that file name is unique. And for us to get v4, we just need to call file ID. and we can call put file. And obviously this all should happen only if our file is not null. This is just for proof of concept, remember? We will move this and refactor later on. So let's try it. Here is our app, and drag an image. And let's try to see if it's here. And it's not. So okay, well, it seems like we need to debug this. And what we may need to do is, first of all, let's try to see if there is any exceptions. Let's try again. Okay, so no exceptions here. What this means is that we need to try to listen to events. Okay, and we can see that now we got this string called unknown error occupied. Please check server response. So I debugged this for a while, and what I found out that for macOS X apps in a sandbox, and by default Flutter will create our app as in a sandbox, we need to say, similar to mobile apps, that we actually want outgoing connections. And all you need to do is just check this box right here, and for the release if you want as well. So our operation system allows our app to make outgoing connections. And as you can see now, we received a couple of updates, and then we received success status. Let's go to our storage. And here's our image. Now let's refactor our code and make sure we don't do all of this right here, and we move this in more appropriate place like provider. And we can create a couple of things. First one, we can say file uploads model. And what we want to do is we want to update our UI during upload. So we may need to create actually a new model. So let's say file upload. And what properties we will have, let's say ID. We also want to have a reference to our storage. We want to have the state. So what states we can have? File upload state. Uploading, success, or an error. And we also want to have actual progress. And there is a possibility we need to update our progress. So let's create Okay, our model is done, and here we need to have a list of these models. Now we want to get specific file, and we want to get length for this list, just to use in our UI. So let's create some getters. So now let's create our multi-provider. And here we want to listen to this as a consumer. So let's write this. We also want to display state. So let's say file upload model position. And we want to display a state, and we can say get string, or we can just overwrite a string for now. Let's actually get all this logic, remove state, and move it right here. The only thing is that we need data reader here. Reader. We ensure that it's not now, and we can move this extension as well. Now let's just construct our file upload. So once we add, we can say that it's in uploading state. So now, how we can receive updates? Updates, we can listen to them here. So what happens if our task is running? We need to find our file upload and update the state. And upload progress is event. And as you can see, we have byte transferred here, and we have total bytes. So we can say byte transferred total bytes, and let's multiply it 1000 to get percents, and that's it. Let's do the same for success. Yep, I think we are ready to test this. Okay, uploading, success. And our image is here again. Now we upload files and they provide the name of UUID. It's an ID just to make sure they're unique in our storage. How we can get this name we have on our system? So for this there is a method called reader get suggested name. So we can actually use this method to get our name, and then we can store it in the metadata in Firebase Storage as a custom property. So let's see how we can do this. Let's get suggested name first. So, and as you can see, suggested name can be null. So let's say it's null, it's unknown. And when we call put file, we can have settable metadata here. So let's say, and in settable metadata, we have custom metadata. So let's say that custom metadata, and we want to say name, suggested name. And then we want to have our name right here. Let's try again. Okay, image PNG. And here it's still UUID. And if we click on this item and go to other metadata, we can see that name is image PNG. Now let's try multiple files. So progress, loading, success, success, success. Refresh. Here is our zip, our video, our PDF. Yep, it's done. Let's make our UI a little bit pretty now. Let's test it. Okay, image uploaded, document uploaded. This one is done. Now, as you can see, once we relaunch our app, even when we have all these files in our storage, it's gone here. So let's fix this and let's actually load this list of files. And the best way to do this is in our model, during our model initialization. The right way actually to do this and probably to store links to these files in Firestore and worklist Firestore. Just for simplicity, we will get list of these files directly from storage. That's not the most efficient way, but this will work for our example. This is very inefficient again, but it's just an example. And as you can see now, once we reload our app, we can receive all the files we uploaded. They appear here. And if we remove them and relaunch our app, nothing is here. Nice. So last thing we need to do is just to make these items clickable and open them. Okay, let's test it. We have our image, and if we click, we get our image. Here is our document. If we click on a document, we got our document. Main Dart. We just download it. I think that's it. One important note is that our Firebase Storage is still working in test mode. So just to make sure never launch apps in production with this test mode, and make sure you write correct rules. Thank you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and let me know what you think.